So shall I write this problem? Use simplex method to solve the following LPP. Maximize Z equal x1 plus 2x2 plus x3 I request all of you to join the class before 9:35. Read this problem. Maximize Z equal x1 plus 2x2 plus x3 subject to. Hello, unmute your mic. Subject to 2x1 plus x2 minus x3 less than or equal 12. Sorry, less than or equal 2 minus 2x1 plus x2 minus 5x3 greater than or equal to minus 6. 4x1 plus x2 plus x3 less than or equal 6. And x1, x2, x3 greater than or equal to 0. So we have to solve this problem using simplex method. Okay, so this problem involves 3 variables, x1, x2, x3. So we are not able to solve this problem using graphical method. So we have to use simplex method. So what are the steps involved in simplex method? First step, convert the LPP into standard form. Before converting the LPP into standard form, we have to make all BIs should be non-negative. BIs means right hand side values, these values, all these values should be non-negative. So here in the second constraint, the right hand side value is negative. This is negative. So we have to make it positive. Okay, right? First step, convert to standard form. Okay, so first we have to make positive in the second constraint on the right hand side. Okay, so we make it by multiplying with minus 1. So multiply second constraint by minus 1. Multiply second constraint by minus 1. Okay, what we have get? So 2x1 minus of minus 2x1. So 2x1 minus x2 minus or minus plus 5x3 inequality become change, that is less than or equal minus of minus 6. Okay, so this is second constraint after multiplying with minus 1 on both sides. Okay, so sign change in each term. So this is 2x1 minus x2 minus 5x3, sorry, minus or minus plus 5x3 inequality become change less than or equal minus or minus 6 plus 6. Okay, this is second constraint. Okay, right. So first and third constraints on the right hand side we have positive values. Now all the constraints are less than or equal type. So this is first one, this is second one, and this is third one. So all are less than or equal constraints. Now convert to standard form. So what is standard form? First we have to convert, that is first characteristic is objective function should be maximization. So here the objective function is maximize Z. So objective function is maximization. Okay, first characteristic is satisfied. Second, convert inequalities to equalities using slack and surplus variables. So here all the constraints are less than or equal type. First constraint less than or equal, second constraint is also less than or equal, and third constraint is also less than or equal. So all constraints are less than or equal type. How do you convert less than or equal type constraint to equality? So by adding slack variables. So add slack variables S1, S2, S3 in the constraints. Add slack variables S1, S2, S3 in the constraints. So we use this notation for slack and surplus variables. So S1 in first constraint. So add S1 in the first constraint. So 2x1 plus x2 minus x3 plus S1. So inequality become equal to. So leave here some space so that we are able to write the variables in the same column. The variables lie in the same column. This is first constraint, gets equality. Second constraint. So this is the second constraint. Add second slack variable S2 in the second constraint. So 2x1 minus x2 plus 5x3 plus S2 inequality become equal 6. So leave here some space here. There is no S1 term in the second constraint. So leave space here. This is plus S2. Next, add third slack variable S3 in the third constraint. So third constraint is this one. So 4x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus S3 equal 6. Inequality become equality. Okay, so write in this fashion. So here we have in the same column, the same variable lie in the same column. So x1, all these are x1 terms, all these are x2 terms, all these are x3 terms. Okay, all these are S1 terms, S2 terms, S3 terms. Okay, right. So second step is convert inequalities to equalities. Write in the matrix form. How do you write in the matrix form? AX equal B. So A is coefficient matrix, X is variable vector, B is right side values. So what is A? First row is coefficients of first equation. So x1 coefficient 2, x2 coefficient 1, x3 coefficient minus 1, S1 coefficient 1. There is no S2 and S3 terms in the first equation. Their coefficients 0, 0. Okay. So this is first row, which contains coefficients of first constraint. That is first constraint. This one. This is first row. Second row, coefficients of variables in the second constraint. So x1 coefficient 2, x2 coefficient minus 1, x3 coefficient 5. There is no S1 term, coefficient 0, S2 coefficient 1. There is no S3 term, coefficient 0. Okay, this is second row. Next, third row, coefficients of third constraint. So x1 coefficient 4, x2 coefficient 1, x3 coefficient 1. There is no S1, S2 terms, so the coefficients zeros. S3 coefficient 1. So this is coefficient matrix, A, capital A. And what is capital X? Variables column. So first x1, x2, x3, S1, S2, S3. So this is variable column, capital X. Okay. So this matrix into this column, we get right hand side values. And what is small b? Right hand side values, that is 266, column 266. This is small b. So this is in the matrix form. Okay. So this is first step. Convert the problem into standard form. So what is third characteristic of standard form? All variables should be non-negative. So here in the problem given, all are greater than or equal 0. Okay. So third characteristic already satisfied. Okay. So in the standard form, first and third characteristics are same. Objective function is maximization, and all variables are greater than or equal 0. Okay. So here we made the second characteristic, that is all inequalities are converted to equalities. Okay. So this is first step. Okay. All of you write the problem simultaneously. Right. Next, what is second step? In the second step, we examine whether the coefficient matrix contain unit matrix, IM. So here number of constraints is 3. Here number of constraints 3. So 3 constraints. So we have to choose 3 basic variables. Okay. So we have to examine whether the coefficient matrix contain unit matrix of order 3, that is I3. So examine this coefficient matrix. This is coefficient matrix. Examine this. So clearly it contains 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. So this is unit matrix. So clearly the coefficient matrix contain unit matrix I3. Okay. Since all constraints are less than or equal to automatically the coefficient matrix contain unit matrix. Okay. So we proceed to step 3. So what is step 3? We choose the variables corresponding to the unit matrix as basic variables. So what are the variables corresponding to this unit matrix? 1 0 0. This is corresponding to S1. 0 1 0. This is corresponding to S2. 0 0 1. This is corresponding to S3. Okay. So we choose S1, S2, S3 as basic variables. That means the other variables x1, x2, x3 are non-basic variables. Okay. So they have to be taken as 0. Okay. So then we write initial basic feasible solution. Next, clearly, right? Clearly, the coefficient matrix contains unit matrix I3. Next, initial basic feasible solution, IBFS. This is the abbreviation. Initial basic feasible solution. So choose the variables. Choose the variables S1, S2, S3. S1, S2, S3. Corresponding to unit matrix as basic variables. Then initial basic feasible solution is IBFS. What is the notation? XB equal capital X suffix capital B. XB equal capital B inverse into small b. Capital B inverse into small b. What is capital B? Coefficient matrix of basic variables. That is unit matrix. So that is called I3. Capital I suffix 3 inverse small b. So I3 inverse. Unit matrix inverse is unit matrix. So unit matrix into B, we get B. So that is initial basic feasible solution. Capital XB called small b. Small b means right hand side values in the constraints. Okay. So each problem involves the same steps. Okay. So I have to write the steps sequentially. Next, for each variable, we have to calculate a vector and a scalar. Next, capital Xj. Capital Xj equal capital B inverse Aj. So these are the notations I have discussed in the algorithm. Capital B inverse Aj. So here small aj is column vector corresponding to the variable small xj, and capital B is unit matrix here. So I3 inverse aj. I3 inverse aj. I3 inverse is I3. I3 into aj is aj. So capital Xj called aj. So aj is column corresponding to the variable small xj. So this is column vector corresponding to each variable. Next, scalar delta j equal. Scalar delta j equal capital C suffix b. Cb into capital Xj minus Cj, small cj. I have discussed everything in the algorithm. Cb is cost vector of basic variables, that is row vector actually. Capital Xj is this one, column vector corresponding to each variable small xj, minus small cj is cost of the variable small xj, that is the coefficient of the variable small xj in the objective function. So this is scalar. So we have to calculate this vector and this is scalar corresponding to each variable. Okay, so we do this in tabular form. Okay, table 1. So write this structure, take this structure of the table. So first column basic variables here, first column basic variables, second column cost of basic variables, that is CB, capital C suffix capital B. Next column solution, capital XB. So here we have two sub rows right here. Here we take columns, capital X1 corresponding to first variable small x1, capital X2 corresponding to second variable small x2, capital X3 corresponding to third variable small x3, then capital S1 corresponding to the slack variable small s1, capital S2, capital S3. So total we have three decision variables x1, x2, x3 and three slack variables s1, s2, s3. So for all these variables, these are the column vectors. Okay. So in the last column, minimum ratio test. So minimum ratio. So this is the tabular structure of simplex method. Okay. So here we take the cost or the coefficients of the variables in the objective function. So what is objective function? Z equal, this is the objective function. See in the problem, maximize Z equal x1 plus 2 x2 plus x3. So this is the objective function. So what is coefficient of x1 variable? 1. So this is 1. Okay. Coefficient of x2 is 2. This is 2. Coefficient of x3, that is 1. So these are cost of the variables. That is coefficients of the variables in the objective function. So 1, 2, 1. And what about cost of slack variables? Already I have discussed in the algorithm or in the definitions. Since slack variables are not decision variables, they do not affect the objective function value. So the cost of each slack and surplus variable is 0. Okay. So cost of slack variables 0. So 0, 0, 0. Okay. So these are cost of variables. Okay. Right. So here we write basic variables. What are basic variables? We have chosen S1, S2, S3 as basic variables. Okay. So first basic variable is S1, second basic variable is S2, third basic variable is S3. You have to write in the unit matrix order. That means you have to write in first place the variable corresponding to first column, that is 1, 0, 0, this column. And second place, variable corresponding to 0, 1, 0. And in third place, variable corresponding to 0, 0, 1. You have to write in the unit matrix order only here. Okay. So S1, S2, S3. Next, CB. What are cost of these basic variables? All these are slack variables, their cost 0. These values come here. Okay. Next, what is XB? Initial basic feasible solution is small b. Small b is this one. So first place 2, S1 2, second place 6, third place 6. So this is the initial basic feasible solution. 2, 6, 6. That means S1 is 2, S2 is 6, S3 is 6. So this is the initial basic feasible solution. Next, what is capital X1? Small a1. That is column corresponding to the first variable. 2, 2, 4. That is 2, 2, 4. Capital X2. Column corresponding to second variable. That is 1, minus 1, 1. So 1, minus 1, 1. Capital X3. Column corresponding to third variable. Minus 1, 5, 1. Okay. Next, S1 column, 1, 0, 0. Next, S2 column, 0, 1, 0. S3 column 0 0 1. S3 column 0 0 1. Okay, so this is the tabular form. Okay, next. So these are the columns. All these are columns corresponding to the variables. Now we have to find scalar delta J. So we write delta J values here. We calculate delta J values here. Okay, first delta 1, that is delta J value corresponding to first variable x1, that is delta 1. What is delta 1? So delta 1 is CB. So this column CB into x1, this column. Actually, this is the row. In tabular form, it looks like column. Okay, so CB into x1. So product of these two vectors. Okay, how do you calculate product? 0 into 2 plus 0 into 2 plus 0 into 4. That is 0 plus 0 plus 0. 0 minus C1, this value. Minus 1. So delta 1 is minus 1. So formula delta 1 equals CB into capital X1 minus C1. CB is 0 0 0. Actually it is row. Capital X1 is this column 2 2 4 minus C1. C1 is this value. That is 1. Since this is a 0 vector, so 0 vector into any vector is 0. This becomes 0 minus 1. Right here minus 1. Okay, so this is delta 1. Similarly, delta 2. What is delta 2? CB capital X2 minus C2. Same formula. CB, that is row vector. This is row 0 0 0 into column vector 1 minus 1 1. So this becomes 0 minus 2. This minus 2. Okay. Similarly, you can write delta 3. So delta 3 equal CB, this column, into capital X3, this column, minus this value. Okay. So since this is 0 vector, this becomes 0 minus 1. So minus 1. Okay. Right. What about delta value for S1? 0. So for basic variables, the delta value is 0 always. For basic variables, the delta value is 0. For basic variables, the delta value is always 0. Or you can calculate, you get 0. Okay. So 0 into 1 plus 0 into 0 plus 0 into 0 minus 0. Okay. So for basic variables, the delta J value is always 0. You need not calculate that delta J value for basic variables. So you can write 0 0 0. So these are scalars for each variable. Okay. Right. Here we write objective function value ZB. That is the value of objective function corresponding to this basic solution. So what is that? CB into XB. So CB into XB. That is this column into this column. Okay. So 0 into 2 plus 0 into 6 plus 0 into 6. That is 0. So objective function value is 0 corresponding to this basic solution. Since there are no decision variables in the solution, that means objective function value is also 0. Okay. So this is objective function value. Okay. Right. So now, so this is fourth step. Okay. Right. Now we verify the optimality condition. That means we have to check whether the present solution is an optimal solution or not. Okay. So verify the optimality condition. So what is optimality condition? All delta J greater than or equal to 0. Okay. Observe all these values. These are delta J values. So if all these delta J greater than or equal to 0, then the optimal condition is satisfied. So here some are negative values. This is negative, this is negative, and this is negative. So or delta j not greater than or equal to 0. So present solution is not an optimal solution. Present solution is not an optimal solution. So we have to improve the solution. How to improve the solution? Find delta k equal minimum of delta j such that delta j less than 0. Okay, that is minimum of, consider negative values, -1, -2, -1. So minimum of negative values, these three values. What is minimum value? -2. So this is minimum value. So this is corresponding to second variable. This is corresponding to second variable, that is delta 2. Okay. So therefore, the corresponding variable x2 is entering basic variable. The corresponding variable x2 is entering basic variable. So this is minimum value. So the corresponding variable x2 is entering basic variable. Okay. So circle this is second column. So variable corresponding to x2. Circle this column. So this represents entering basic variable. So x2 is entering basic variable. Okay. So this is called as pivot column. This is called as pivot column. Okay. So if all delta j greater than or equal 0, then the present solution is an optimal solution. The process ends. So here all delta j not greater than or equal 0. So optimal condition is not satisfied. So present solution is not an optimal solution. Next we have to improve the solution. For that, first we find entering basic variable, that is delta k equal minimum of delta j such that delta j less than 0. So we take minimum of negative delta j values. So here minimum is -2. So corresponding variable x2 is entering basic variable. Okay. So next we have to verify the condition for unbounded solution. So what is condition for unbounded solution? All entries in pivot column are less than or equal to 0. Okay. Observe here this pivot column. So this is positive, this is negative, and this is positive. Okay. So that means all entries in pivot column are not less than or equal to 0. Some are positive entries. Okay. So the problem has no unbounded solution. Problem has no unbounded solution. Problem has no unbounded solution. Okay. So we can find the leaving basic variable by using minimum ratio test. So what is minimum ratio test? We consider positive entries in the pivot column. Observe first entry, this is positive. This is positive. Take the ratio corresponding with solution. Take the ratio corresponding with solution. So this is positive value. So take the ratio corresponding with solution. This is solution. So 2 by 1 right here. 2 by 1 equal to 2. Next, this is negative. So we need not consider this value. Okay, we consider only positive values, strictly greater than 0 values. Again, this is positive value. Consider the ratio corresponding with solution. Solution is 6. So 6 by 1. Right here, 6 by 1, that is 6. Okay. So we have two ratios. So minimum of these two ratios. So what is minimum of these two ratios? This is minimum value. So for that, what is corresponding basic variable? S1. So S1 is leaving basic variable. Okay. How do you write in mathematical formulation? This minimum ratio test. So XBR by XR K. So here K means entering basic variable suffix. Entering basic variable is x2, second variable. So K suffix is 2. Okay. So here entering basic variable suffix is 2. So here K is 2. XBR by XR K, that is XR2 equal minimum of XBI by XI2 such that XI2 greater than 0. We consider positive entries only and take the ratio corresponding with solution. So minimum ratio is 2 by 1. Okay. So the corresponding variable is S1. So S1 is leaving basic variable. So this is mathematical notation of minimum ratio test. So S1 is leaving basic variable. Okay. So circle first row, S1 row. So circle S1 row. Okay. Okay, right. So in the next solution, this variable S1 is replaced by X2. S1 is replaced by X2. And the other variables remain same. So this S1 is replaced by X2. So S1 is replaced by X2. Other two variables remain same in the next solution. Okay. Next, table 2. Table 2. Same structure. All these headings remain same. All these headings remain same. So you need not use scale. You draw a rough table. You can draw the table roughly. You need not use scale, etc., etc. Okay, right. So this is the previous table. So this is previous table. Right. First, to fill the basic variables. So observe the previous table. So this S1 is replaced by X2. So first place X2. S1 is replaced by X2. So first place X2. Remaining two as it is. S2, S3. S2, S3. So remaining, these two remain same. S1 is replaced by X2. Okay, right. Next, what are CB? X2 cost is 2. This is 2. X2 cost 2. This is S2, S3 slack variables. Their cost zeros. Their cost zeros. Okay, right. So what is the first step to find new solution? First, divide pivot row by pivot element. So here pivot row is this one. Pivot row is first row and pivot element is 1. Pivot element means intersection of pivot row and pivot column. Okay. So divide first row by 1. Okay. So write in first row of the new table. Okay. This is, so by pivot element is 1, divide first row by 1, you get same values. Write in first row in the new table. 2 by 1, 2, 2 by 1, 2, 2 by 1, 2, 1 by 1, 1, minus 1 by 1, 1, 1 by 1, 1, 0 by 1, 0, 0 by 1, 0. Okay. So this is first row. So first step is divide pivot row by pivot element. Write in the same row of the new table. So this is first step while calculating new basic feasible solution. Okay, right. Now what is the next step? Second point, fill the columns of basic variables with corresponding unit matrix. So here what is first basic variable? X2. First basic variable is X2. Come to X2 column. First place 1, already we have 1. And other places 0. This is 0, this is 0. And we can write delta J value also. It is 0. So delta J value also we can write. since delta j value is 0 for all basic variables anytime in any iteration. Okay, so you can write this delta j value also 0. Okay, so this is for first basic variable, column is 1 0 0. Second basic variable is s2. S2 column, come to S2. So S2 is second variable, so second place 1, this place is 1 and other place is 0. So already this is 0, so this is 0. So 0 1 0 and delta j value is also 0. This is S2 column. Next S3, third place, S3 column. Third place 1 here, S3 column. Third place 1, remaining zeros. This is 0. Already this is 0. And delta j value is also 0. Okay. So in the second step, we fill the columns of basic variables corresponding with unit matrix. For first variable, the column is 1 0 0. For second variable, the column is 0 1 0. For third variable, the column is 0 0 1. So this is the unit matrix. That is the matrix corresponding to the basic variables. And delta j value is also 0 for all basic variables. You can fill. Okay. Right. So this is second step. Next, third step is, so observe of more than half of the table is filled. So what is third step? We have to calculate the remaining values. So to calculate this value, present value, so come to the same value, this value. Okay. So what is the formula? Present value 6 minus pivot column element. This is pivot column. This is pivot column. So for 6, corresponding pivot column element is minus 1 by pivot element is 1 into for this pivot row element. Okay, this is 2. So see here 6, this value 6 minus pivot column element minus 1 by pivot element. This is pivot element. So minus 1 by 1 into pivot row element 2. Okay, this is. Simplify this 6 minus or minus plus 1 into 2. That is 6 plus 2, 8. So this is 8. Okay. Okay. This is 8. So observe here for the first row calculation, this ratio is fixed. This is fixed. This is fixed. That is, this plus 1 is fixed. You just change this value and this value to calculate the other entries in the second row. Okay. So to calculate this entry, consider the present value 2 and pivot row element 2. Just replace here 2, here 2. So 2 plus 1 into 2. That is 4. Okay. Right here 4. Next, to calculate x3 value. So just present value 5 and pivot row element minus 1. So here replace 5, here minus 1. So 5 plus 1 into minus 1. So 5 minus 1, 4. This is 4. For S1, present value 0 and pivot row element 1. Just here 0, here 1. So 0 plus 1 into 1. That is 1. So here 1. Okay. So this is the calculation of second row. So present value minus pivot column element by pivot element into pivot row element. So in this calculation, this ratio is same for second row calculation. Just to change present value here and pivot row element here. Okay. So this is a calculation of a second row. Okay. Similarly, calculate third row. How do you calculate third row? To calculate this value, so present value 6 minus pivot column element is 1 divided by pivot element is this is pivot element. So 6 minus 1 by 1 into for this pivot row element is 2. Okay. So see here 6 minus 1 by 1 into 2. So 6 minus 1 by 1 into 2. Simplify this ratio. This is 1. So 6 minus 1 into 2. 6 minus 2, 4. Right here, 4. Okay. So for third row calculation, this minus 1 is fixed. You just replace the present value here and the pivot row element here to calculate other entries in the third row. Okay. So here present value 4 and pivot row element 2. Just replace here 4, here 2. So 4 minus 1 into 2. 4 minus 2, 2 right here. For x3, present value 1. Okay. Pivot row element minus 1. Just replace here 1 minus 1 into minus 1. So 1 minus or minus 1 plus 1, 2. Is 2. For S1, the present value 0. So pivot row element 1. So replace here 0, here 1. 0 minus 1 into 1. That is minus 1. This is minus 1. Okay. So that is third row calculation. So you have to do this calculation carefully. Okay. Okay. Right. Calculate delta J values as usual in table 1. So here in the next iteration, you need not write all these formulae. So in the first iteration, you have to write all these formulae. From second table onwards, you need not write. So directly calculate from the table. How do you calculate delta 1? CB, this column into this column. Okay. So 2 into 2, 4, plus 0 into 4, 0, plus 0 into 2, 0. That is 4 minus this value. Minus 1. So 4 minus 1, 3. This is 3. Okay. Next, to calculate delta 3. CB into capital X3 minus C3. Okay. So this value into this 2 into minus 1 minus 2, 0 into 4, 0, 0 into 0, 0. So minus 2 minus of minus 1. So minus 2 minus 1. So minus 3. This is minus 3. Similarly for S1. Okay. So 2 into 1, this is 2 into 1 plus 0 into 1, 0, plus 0 into minus 1, 0. So 2 minus 0, this value. So 2. Okay, so these are delta J values. Next, calculate objective function value, ZB. That is the value of objective function corresponding to this basic feasible solution. Okay. Right. What is ZB? CB into XB. Okay. So this column into this column. So 2 into 2, 4, plus 0 into 8, 0, plus 0 into 4, 0. So 2 into 2, 4. The objective function value is 4. Okay. Right. Observe here. What is the objective function value in the previous table? First table, that is 0. Now the objective function value is 4. So objective function value improved. That is, since it is maximization problem, by step, the value of objective function is increased. Okay. So the solution is improved. Now repeat the same process. Verify the optimality condition. So observe all these values. So all these values are not greater than or equal to 0. We have one negative value. So all delta J are not greater than or equal to 0. Present solution is not an optimal solution. So you need not write all these steps from second table. You can directly write in the table. So there are only one negative value in the delta J's. So itself it is the minimum value. So minus 3 is minimum value. That is corresponding to third variable x3. So x3 is entering basic variable. So this is minimum value. So x3 is entering basic variable. So this is minimum value. That is corresponding to the third variable x3. So x3 is entering basic variable. Circle it. Next, verify the unbounded solution condition. Okay. So observe the entries in the pivot column. All entries in the pivot column are not less than or equal to 0. So some are positive. The problem has no unbounded solution. problem has no unbounded solution. Okay, right. Next, how do you find leaving basic variable? Here we consider positive values in the pivot column. This is positive value. This is positive value. Corresponding to these two entries, consider the ratio with corresponding solution. This is 8 by 4. Here write 8 by 4, that is 2. And this is positive. Consider the ratio with solution 4 by 2. This is 4 by 2, that is 2. And first entry is negative. We need not consider this ratio. Since it is negative, skip first entry. So we have to consider here only positive entries. So minimum of these two. So this minimum is same. So this minimum is not unique. So here we get tie. So arbitrarily you can take either this one or this one. There is no rule to break the tie. So arbitrarily I take this one. I take arbitrarily this one. What is the corresponding variable? S2. So S2 is leaving basic variable. S2 is leaving basic variable. So circle S2. S2 row. Okay. Right. Table 3. Okay. S2 is leaving basic variable. Right. Table 3. Same structure. Same structure. So this is table 2, previous table. Observe table 2. Right. First to fill the basic variables. So here S2 is from the previous table, second table, S2 is replaced by X3. S2 is leaving basic variable, X3 is entering basic variable. So S2 is replaced by X3. That means second place, the basic variable is X3. In second place, we have the basic variable X3. Okay, and other two remain same. First place X2, third place S3. These two remain same. In place of S2, we have X3. Okay, right? Cost CB. X2 cost 2, this is. And X3 cost 1. So X3 cost 1, this is. And X2 cost 2. And S3 is slack variable, its cost is 0. Okay, next. So how do you fill the new table? First divide pivot row by pivot element. What is pivot row here? This is pivot row, second row. Pivot element is intersection point of pivot row and column. So divide second row by 4 and write in second row in the new table. So 8 by 4, 2, 4 by 4, 1, 0 by 4, 0, 4 by 4, 1, 1 by 4, 1, sorry, 1 by 4, 1 by 4, 1 by 4, 0 by 4, 0. You need not write here decimals, right? Just keep the fractions as it is. So first divide pivot row by pivot element 4, right in the second row. Next, fill the columns of basic variables. X2, first variable is X2, X2 column. First place 1 here, first place 1, remaining zeros. Remaining entries zeros. Delta J also 0. X3 second place 1 already 1, other places zeros. S3 third place, S3 column, third place 1, other places zeros. Okay. Right. So to calculate the remaining values. So to calculate this value, first value in the solution, so present value, same process, 2, present value 2 minus pivot column element minus 1 by pivot element 4 into for this pivot row element 8. So see here 2 minus of minus 1 by 4 into 8. So 4 2's, 2 minus of minus 2 plus 2, that is 4. So here write 4. For the first row calculation, this ratio is fixed. Plus 1 by 4 is fixed. You just replace this value and this value. Okay, right. To calculate second value, this value. So present value 2 and pivot row value 4. Okay, just replace here 2, 4. 2 plus 1 by 4 into 4. 4 gets cancelled. 2 plus 1, 3. This is 3. Next for S1. So present value 1 and pivot row value 1. Just replace 1 here, 1 here. 1 plus 1 by 4 into 1. Take LCM 4 plus 1, 5 by 4. This is 5 by 4. For S2, present value 0, pivot row 1, pivot row element 1. Just replace here 0, 1. 0 plus 1 by 4 into 1. That is 1 by 4. So this is 1 by 4. So that is first row calculation. Okay. Similarly, calculate third row calculation. Third row. So present value 4 minus for this pivot column element 2 by pivot element 4 into pivot row element 8. Okay. Right here 4 minus 2 by 4 into 8. So first to simplify this fraction. Simplify this fraction. 4 minus 1 by 2 into 8. So this is fixed for third row calculation. 2 4s, 4 minus 4, 0. This is 0. Similarly, for x1, present value 2 and pivot row value 4. Just replace these two. 2 4. 2 minus 1 by 2 into 4. 2 2s, 2 minus 2, 0. For S1, present value minus 1 and pivot row value 1. Just replace here minus 1, 1. Minus 1, minus 1 by 2 into 1. So minus 2, minus 1, minus 3 by 2. This is minus 3 by 2. Next, for S2, present value 0 and pivot row value 1. So here just replace 0, here 1. 0 minus 1 by 2 into 1. That is minus 1 by 2. Okay. So these are third row values. Okay. Now calculate delta J values. So first delta 1, 2 into 3, 6, plus 1 into 1, 1, plus 0 into 0, 0. That is 2 into the 6 plus 1, minus 1, this value. 6 minus 1, that is 5. Sorry, 6, 3 into 2, 6, plus 1, 7, minus 1, 6. So here also, 2 into 5 by 4, this is 2 into 5 by 4 plus 1 into 1 by 4 plus 0 into this minus 0. You get this value 11 by 4. So yes, delta 5 value. Same, 2 into 1 by 4 is 2 into 1 by 4 plus 1 into 1 by 4 plus 0 into minus 1 by 2 minus this value 0. So that is 3 by 4. Objective function value 2 into 4 plus 1 into 2 plus 0 into 0. That is 8 plus 2, 10. Objective function value is 10. Okay, right. Now observe these values. Verify the optimality condition. Same process. So all delta J greater than or equal 0. So our present solution is an optimal solution. So optimal solution is write decision variables only. So these are the basic variables, and solution is this. Okay, first decision variable x1 equals 0. Since there is no x1 in the basic variables, so x1 is non-basic variable, so it is 0. x2 is basic variable, so x2 value 4. x3 is also basic variable, its value 2. You need not write S3. Since it is slack variable, we don't bother about. So we have to write only decision variables. And objective function value, max Z equal 10. This is optimal value. That is max Z equal 10. So this is the optimal solution to the problem. Okay. So observe, here we have 0 here. Okay. So in any problem, this column contains always greater than or equal 0. So here you have to get positive values only here. If you get negative value, the calculation is wrong. You have to check it. Okay. Since we are finding feasible solution in each iteration. Feasible means all variables are greater than or equal to 0. Okay. So in this column, you always get positive values greater than or equal to 0 values, no negative values. If you get negative value, the calculation is wrong. You have to check it. Okay.